Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your November the 19th, just for today, in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. The title of the meditation is The Language of Empathy. The addict would find from the start as much identification as each needed to convince himself that he could stay clean by the examples of others who had recovered for many years. Basic text, page 88. Many of us attended our first meeting and, not being entirely sure that NA was for us, found much to criticize. Either we felt as though no one had suffered like we had, or that we hadn't suffered enough. But as we listened, we started to hear something new, a wordless language with its roots in recognition, belief, and faith, the language of empathy. Desiring to belong, we kept listening. We find all the identification we need as we learn to understand and speak the language of empathy. To understand this special language, we listen with our hearts. The language of empathy uses few words. It feels more than it speaks. It doesn't preach or lecture, it listens. I can reach out and touch the spirit of another addict without a single spoken word. The sentence says it can reach out and touch the spirit of another addict without a single spoken word. But I can too, and so can you. Let's continue. Fluency in the language of empathy comes to us through practice. The more we use it with other addicts in our higher power, the more we understand this language. It keeps us coming back. Just for today, I will listen with my heart. With each passing day, I will become more fluent in the language of empathy. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. So we're talking about the language of empathy and how it is more of a feeling language than a oral language, right? So it's not something that we talk about, that we hear necessarily in the physical sense. It's more of something that we feel. And the heart is the core of that, right? To be able to feel something inside of us that says, wow, this person is really hurting. Let me come alongside them and see what I can do or what I can say, or just share my experiences, strength, and hope, so they understand, or they at least have the opportunity to understand that they're not alone. And they're most certainly not the only person that has ever experienced death, divorce, loss of a job, imprisonment, tons of things that we as addicts go through. And we can use the language of empathy to support and uphold one another, right? The ideal that we're never alone is something that is more than just words. The average recovering person can actually say, I've used Narcotics Anonymous and the fellowship in so many instances to get through clean. Just making a meeting, just being present, not necessarily even sharing sometimes, because sometimes a person isn't willing, able, haven't gotten the level of acceptance with a situation. And which I think all of those times are good times to actually share, but not everyone can do that, right? But just being present in the meeting um, opens the door for other individuals to practice the language of empathy. And so I'm hoping today that you would think about empathy, the language of empathy. It's not a lot of words. And most of the time, when someone is going through something, we really don't have the right words or know what they necessarily need to hear, but we definitely know what they need to feel. They need to feel loved, right? My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose, that you will practice the language of empathy. Talk to you soon.